whiskey a little bit this weekend.
I did. I got to slow it down a little bit. I'll probably be slowing down the drinking a little bit, getting focused on this exercise challenge this weight loss challenge with Suits.
Yeah. Wasn't that a movie, Peanut Butter Falcon? You were a little Peanut Butter Falcon, weren't you?
I was. I almost watched that this weekend. That's what's weird. Yeah.
I got distracted. I started watching that movie. I think it was around Thanksgiving, and something happened. We had to run off, and I didn't get to finish it. I still haven't gone back to it.
Oh.
Yeah. Go check that out. That had Zach Gottsigan, a local West Palm Beach kid, in it.
It did.
I almost watched that, didn't I? Decided to do that Bridgerton bullshit. That was rough. And I like a chick movie show, whatever, and that sucked.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
It is tough, though, if you have a buzz.
Yeah. Still. Yeah, what I saw, but I'm like, nah, that's what I thought it was going to be.
And the one thing I learned this weekend is that I'm never, ever going to be drinking peanut butter whiskey again.
You're done.
Really?
I'm done. I have retired from peanut butter, and I think I've retired from Tahitian treat.
No way. You've always loved that.
I was chasing it with the peanut butter whiskey and Tahitian treat together.
That's so much sugar.
I just got way too sick.
Oh my gosh.
I was working on shit at the house, and it got away from me. Fuck.
You were probably putting down 300 calories per drink. 400 calories a drink.
Don't ever tell me the numbers, Virginia.
Sorry.
And yet somehow you lost weight.
I lost 2 pounds.
That's amazing.
I had I had a pretty good week, though, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
As far as exercising and all that. And drinking a lot of water.
Okay.
Saturday got me.
The weekends get a lot of people. I think I'd read that where you have about 40% of your calories, I think, of the week on the weekends. Because a lot of people just go nuts. I even, that's the worst I eat is on the weekend.
Well, Virginia got me all these liquors I never usually get.
Mm-hmm.
So I was milling around and trying them out.
Yeah.
And the peanut butter whiskey, I was trying to get a buzz. Like, this sucks. I can't feel shit. So I kept drinking it. And out of the blue, it hit me over the head like a ton of bricks. I didn't know what the fuck was happening.
Wow.
I mean, I'm being
Nothing to something.
I'm being a bit dramatic.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, all of a sudden, I felt like I was in a pub somewhere. Like,
snuck up on you.
It snuck up on me. Sometimes that happens to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's that hard alcohol. That'll do that.
Usually, I can feel the alcohol happening at the right time, but did not want to. And I don't know if that's peanut butter whiskey, because Bigfoot, my boy, will make that, but he makes it as a drink concoction. I was drinking it just like a cowboy.
Knocking it down, yeah. That's what you are. You're a cowboy.
You are a cowboy.
All right, this is working for me. All right.
On a steel horseshoe ride.
I'm back. I'm going to get some whiskey today. I couldn't drink if someone made me. There's no way I could drink.
I had that happen with food. You ever eat something and you're like, I'm still a little bit hungry, so you eat a little bit more, and then you go from, I think I'm a little bit hungry, to, oh my gosh, I ate so much I'm going to throw up. That was my Saturday night. I was eating those chicken wings. And I'm like, well, I think I'm still hungry. I'll have another 2. And then I stopped for a second because I was wolfing them down so fast. I'm like, oh my gosh, I am about ill. I ate so many damn chicken wings.
You went too hard.
But it came out of nowhere. It's kind of like what Jaber was talking about. Like, you're not feeling anything. All of a sudden, you're like, I went from, there was like no buzz or any ramp up. I went from sober to hammered. I went from hungry to completely stuffed like I was going to barf in like a minute. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah. So, I'm going to try to find my phone later today.
Fun stuff. Got a couple of emails here. Andy wants to know on dealing with frenemies. On Friday, one of the girls in my friend group planned a nice dinner and invited everybody but me.
Aww.
And then around 10 that night, I started getting texts from her and others in the group telling me to come over and hang out. But I said I was spending the night in. Really, I was just annoyed. I get the feeling this girl needs a lot of attention from the guys in our group and may even be a little threatened by me. But she had always been nice to me before, so this was an unexpected blow. I like my friend group and don't want to leave it over this one thing, but lately I feel like I give more than I receive with some of these friendships, and I have too much self-worth to be used. How would you guys handle this situation? Forget it and continue how things were before, play it cool, and slightly distance yourself.
I wish COVID wasn't going on, because then I would tell you to throw your own party and accidentally forget to invite her and her bitchy ass.
Mm-hmm. I usually do the play it cool and slightly distance yourself and not think too much of it.
Yeah,
Like, whatever.
And gravitate towards the people in the group you like. You know, if you don't like certain people in the group, you don't have to see them or hang with them, especially if she's purposely leaving you out of stuff. Screw her.
But the way I look at it is if someone doesn't want me around, I don't want to be around.
Yeah.
If you don't want to invite me, that's great. Go fuck yourself.
Gravitate towards the other girls that, do like you.
Yeah, I think it's always good to have your own thing going off. And, I realize this is different. My wife was dealing with something with one of her little friend groups, and one of the friends came to her, and she was all upset because I guess if you have a text thread going on with multiple people and you remove one person, everybody can see it. And somebody, for some reason, in the text thread removed one of the girls, and she saw it, and boy.
Well, it is a dirty move, though. Why are you taking it off that text thread?
Yeah.
What shit's being said?
And she changed it to whatever, because it had a name, whatever the girls, and she used this girl's name specifically. So it said the girls and girl's name. And so I guess that looked like a passive-aggressive move, or she just wanted to know so that she would be saying things maybe to the rest of the girls without saying it to this one girl. I didn't even get all that kind of stuff, but the one girl was crying and emotional, and it was all this.
Well, I know what happened. They were on a thread. So they were all on a thread together, and they took her. Did they start a new thread, or they started a brand new thread, or they took her off that thread?
It was the thread she had. The girl had renamed it. So it was like the girls and this girl's name.
Oh, yeah. The girl that got named is clearly the outsider here.
Yeah.
She's probably doing something.
And she's like, I never did anything to her. What's she doing to me? And so.
But sometimes you don't know if you're doing shit. Is she the annoying one in the group and doesn't know it?
I don't know, maybe.
You know.
I don't know.
Does she smell
I don't
funny?
know. I really don't.
Does she have a farting problem?
I don't know.
I don't think
so.
The farting problem,
That's got to be my wife. If there's any farter in that group, it's got to be my wife.
Yeah, they let Kim stay.
No,
Yeah.
this is something deeper. They don't like this. This girl annoys the fuck out of them. That's why she's been separated from the group. That's the only reason why.
Yeah. And I don't know. I know I'm just coming from the guy's perspective, and I think sometimes my wife has a little bit more of the guy's perspective in it, but it's one of those things where if you show that you're wrecked and you make a big deal out of it, like, we need to sit and talk. Because the girl's like, I think I need to go to her and we just need to talk and hash out whatever it is. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Well,
like,
so dramatic.
Yeah.
They always say communicate your feelings with people, but you can also over communicate and make people feel fucking weird. If you constantly got to sit down and talk about our feelings about everything.
That's probably why she kicked you off the thread.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
She might be emotionally exhausting,
right?
And doesn't realize it. And a little needy.
That's a thing,
right?
And sometimes needy people don't realize how needy they are.
Yeah.
And that, I think we just cracked the case.
And that's why, I think you got to go.
Podcast,
and I was telling my wife, I'm like, well, who cares? Just move on, do your own thing. And she's like, it's easier said than done with some people, and so.
Dang.
You know, that'd be it. So, Andy, I would just be the play it cool and slightly distance. I'd be like, oh, well, you know.
Not to say you can't sit down and have a conversation with people when something's on your mind. You should be able to do that. But you know what I'm talking about. Somebody that always has to sit down or always has to.
Yeah, I just, to me, when it comes to people and things like that, I think it's, you set yourself up for disappointment when you lay expectations on people. I expect I'll always be invited. I expect that I'll be the first they call. I expect any party I'm going to be there. I expect. Eventually something is going to happen. You're going to go, oh, they let me down. I can't believe it. To me, it's a bonus. If you ever text me, great. If I ever get invited to a cool party, awesome. That's all bonus. I don't ever expect it. If it's there, great.
The annoying friend, does she listen to the podcast?
I don't think so.
That's good.
Is she hot?
She doesn't sound like she's my type. She sounds like she complains a lot. I'm just kidding. If you do listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I don't. I think I guess they're all attractive.
She better be hot to complain that much.
Even if you're that hot, I'm sorry. Complaining wears on people. I'm not saying you can't be human and complain. Everyone complains. Everybody vents. Everyone bitches about something. It's just the overdoing it and emotionally draining. There's sometimes people just want to hang out and fucking chill and have a good time and not get heavy.
If I've ever tried to overanalyze something, I get burnt. I just don't try to overanalyze things. I'm like, who knows what's going on? It could have been an innocent. Why am I trying to think that they're doing this, and I know what they're doing. No, you don't know what they're doing. Who knows?
Yeah, you have a penis. You're not going to understand.
And I figured that was probably a big part of it.
I don't know if it's got anything to do with gender. Honestly, I think some people are more in tune with people's feelings. Not to say that's a bad thing with Kevin. To your point, I think if you were to constantly check up on everyone's feelings, you would be exhausted and you wouldn't get anything done. And for some people, they got to check out of that kind of stuff. If not, they would be stuck dealing with shit.
I realize you can't control other people's emotions or thoughts or whatever. You just try to do what you can and do right by people and do the best that you can. And the rest, you just got to let it go, man. What are you going to do?
Because I'm not a girl, but I know I can walk in here, Virginia, and I know when something's up your ass. I know when you're in a great mood. Just you sitting there, just looking all delicious. I can tell what the fuck's going on with you. So I don't know if it's a gender thing.
Yeah, but traditionally, women are always more emotional and more social and they get their feelings tied into their relationships, where men are just most times, a lot more like surface and bro.
I agree.
You and your circle of friends kind of are like the chicks. I know your friends. Y'all are kind of like on the chick side with your feelings and emotions.
I'm just saying, modern day, it's just you're gonna see more of that. The days of men don't talk about their feelings and blah. That shit's going bye. But to Kevin's point, you can't spend all day talking about your fucking feelings because you get nothing done.
Yeah. So
feelings aren't productive.
They're really, us being such emotional creatures really stunts us with growth. Seriously, think about how much time as humans spend sitting down, working out their feelings. You said something, I said something, we're mad, you're hurt. I mean, think about that.
You're right.
It's half a marriage.
Mm-hmm. I would also just caution, too, I think I've seen a lot of people make problems where no problem exists.
Yeah, you can do that, too.
Ashley sent an email looking for some advice. Said, I used to work with a girl. We were kind of friends. Then she became psycho-obsessed with my brother, stalked him for years, and then somehow cast a spell on him because now they are getting married.
Whoa.
She's done a history of bad things with me and our family, and it is going to be tough for me to accept the request to be one of her bridesmaids.
Oh, boy.
How do I tell her I don't want to be a bridesmaid, and especially not her maid of honor? Okay.
Oh, boy. Ugh.
Tell her you got that new, longer case of COVID that it might last a year, incubation period, 12 months.
Oh, boy, that's tough. Because, I mean, if they're getting married and they've chosen each other, I mean, you can either be a good frickin' sport and go along with it and, hope in the background that it blows up one day because she's crazy. Once you start getting all vocal, telling somebody who they can and can't marry, you're just going to get yourself ostracized, and they're going to label you the troublemaker, and you're just going to come out looking like a bad guy. I don't think you can fight this. If they're getting married, they're getting married.
Yeah. To your point, you can't make people... You can't make someone think something or do something what you're saying. Or you can't make somebody not like somebody. They're probably going to fall in that trap.
And if you don't like them and then they feel like, oh, we must stay together because everyone's against us. We've got to prove them wrong.
It's us against the world mentality.
Exactly. You make them closer by sharing your opinions on it.
Well, you got two options. You got either yes, I'll do it, and you got a no, I'm not going to do it. And to me, I would just look at both of those options. If you say yes, I'll do it, you could do it for your brother and realize that this means a lot to him, and right now he thinks it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
And so it would provide him with a better drama-free day. And that would be what a yes would give you. If you say no, I would like to know what that does get you. You're making a statement to this girl that you don't like her and you're going to be difficult. You're going to cause drama for your brother and anxiety on his wedding day.
And anxiety for you, too.
Yes.
You're giving yourself all this anxiety of now fighting with the bride. Like, who cares? Just go be in the bride's party.
Sometimes in life, you just got to do shitty things. And because you're doing it because you love the person involved. You love your brother, right?
You love your brother.
You love your brother. Mm-hmm. You're going to do shitty things for your brothers and sisters because you love them. It's not going to all be rosy, ponies and rainbows in life.
People in your family are always going to pair themselves up with losers you don't like. I've seen it in my family. I've seen it in other family. You can't control who your loved one loves. You just can't.
Yeah, and there's going to be shit probably in your life that people aren't going to want to do to make you feel better. So, it comes around, goes around.
Christy said it happened to me. I had a friend that got engaged to a cheater. I couldn't support it. Threw away like 10 years of friendship. He was still actively cheating.
Oh, man.
Now, I think you have situations where, especially if you have a good friend and you have a cheating situation, you can go to your friend and say, the signs are there. The proof has been there. I am concerned with your choice in this. I care about you. And I'm saying this to you because of this. I want you to be happy, and I don't think this person is going to make you happy, and I think you're making a mistake. But I will do what I can to support you through this. But I just want you to know how I feel with this.
That's 110% the way to do it. To speak your piece and then support your sister or brother.
Yeah, or friend.
Or friend.
Whatever it might be. So that'd be my thought on that, Ashley.
Or just stay bitter and angry and hold it all in and just stay pissy.
Life will be much easier for you if you just stop trying to control who people love. Let them make their own mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Love is dead.
If your brother is marrying a straight-up hooker, don't worry. That'll play out. They'll probably break up, and then you can have your, aha, told you so.
Or you both fall in love, go into business together, run that legal brothel in Vegas. I was trying to make it a half-full story.
Rachel Lee said, well, saying no to being a bridesmaid will allow her to make other arrangements. And if you think that that's it, and somebody also texted in and said the fact that she's asking you and you're not really that close, maybe it says she doesn't have a lot of other friends. But either way, you could say, I would not be offended if you don't have me be your maid of honor if you want someone else to be your maid of honor. But if you want me to do it, then I'll absolutely do it.
I'd be the best maid of honor.
You'd be trying to bang all the bridesmaids
No, I would
on
not.
the bachelorette party.
I would not be trying to bang anybody.
Oh, you'd be finger banging at least two of them in the limo.
That's
That's so accurate.
That's not accurate. Just one.
Got an email from somebody who says, I'm in your age range and coming out of a 20-plus year marriage. I reconnected with a high school love and my first, and we are seeing if we can have a successful relationship. I'm finding out that I'm really inexperienced, even though I was married a long time, and that's embarrassing. And it's been so vanilla, as Jaybird would say. Now my guy is giving me feedback that's hard to hear, that I'm not too good at the BJ.
Oh, boy.
How does he say it, though? Did you ask him first, or did he just say, this BJ sucks?
He said, you're terrible at head.
Oh, man, that's harsh.
This is something that's a real thing. And Lisa Rinna wrote about it in her book. Ugh. She breaks it down step by step, how to give a BJ. There's a technique. There's a whole a trick she's got.
You don't need to listen to Rinna. Listen to the person you're having sex with.
Harry Hamlin looks happy.
If they communicate in a peaceful way, you should be receptive. Both of you should be.
She said, at first I was so defensive, but this weekend he just said, why can't we talk about this? Don't you want to know what feels good to me? And if your teeth are getting me, or you want me to say nothing and not like it?
She's using teeth?
Yeah, he's doing it right. She's got a problem. It hurts to hear it, man.
First tip, it's not a chew toy.
Yes, and it is attached. It does stick to the body.
She's like a dog with those ropes.
No, it's attached.
He's bigger than my ex, so it is a lot to figure out. But this is the most mature sexual conversation I've ever had. And I know that I have no ideas what to do with the other part, like the balls.
Okay, that's a good question. We can get into that.
I'm actually Googling this stuff, trying to understand what's nice to the man. It's like a foreign world to me, and I'm embarrassed because I'm in my 40s. Can the guys give a little education?
Yes.
From the male perspective?
First of all, don't feel bad about being inexperienced. You're in a marriage for 20 years, and the guy sounds like a terrible lay. So don't worry about it. This is the fun part for the guy. He gets to teach you, and you guys can learn together. But you got to definitely not be defensive because you did nothing wrong. He's not calling you a horrible person. But if your teeth are getting on his dick, he's got to probably mention that because it doesn't feel good.
You can't vampire his dick.
And every human's different. So what worked for your husband, your ex, is going to be maybe different for him. Communicate and talk, and don't be so. Don't be so embarrassed about it. Drop them walls. The Wallace Pennington telling you to drop walls when it comes to this.
Just have the conversation.
Yes, drop and drop being defensive about it because I think that once you're not defensive and you want to learn, you're going to have so much fun with your man.
And what does she do with the balls?
If he likes his balls played with, now I'm a guy. I'm very pro ball. I like my balls played with, caressed, tickled.
Licked.
I mean, I didn't want to get too graphic, but yeah, I like them licked. But if he likes that, he should tell you that, and then that's how you can. And tell him what you're into too. You may not even know what you're into.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
He may surprise you, Big. Do that again.
If you feel comfortable with him, and he's not making you feel bad or degrading you, I'd have fun with this, and just don't be so defensive about it.
This email about Jay Bird's love life says, I am enjoying the Marcy antics. I didn't know that Jason was into older women, and I would like to throw my hat in the ring. That's from Bev.
How old is your hat? Has it been stepped on a lot?
There's been a few older people that have reached out since that segment.
You fired up the cougs. You definitely won some brownie points with your openness.
Oh, they're all ready. Yeah, and you're going to get so many emails from cougars now saying they lick balls.
Oh, my gosh. Cougars love to lick balls.
Well, Virginia asked you that question. What do you want me to sit over here and lie about it?
Nothing but tongue photos.
No, you're in the nest of honesty.
I like a little ball play.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, cougars. He's letting you know.
Play ball, cougars.
How's your ball licking abilities, ladies?
We can play ball in my baseball uniform. And there's people that, you guys are toying with this Marcy lady. You guys are going to hurt her feelings. Marcy's going to be all fine, y'all.
She's enjoying the sport right now.
She's enjoying it. She's going to be just fine.
If you got the time, he's got the bat.
Virginia did that photo shoot with us on our conference table, by the way.
Oh, that's where that happened. Okay.
Yes.
We probably should have Lysol'd that after. I didn't even think about that.
But Virginia was so in her element. Really?
She's gotten into this. She's like, she likes doing the photo shoots.
I do.
Now.
I like being the La Chapelle behind the camera.
I feel like you pulled out my sexy, so thank you.
I know I did. Looking at those pictures, you look like a straight up prostitute.
Look good.
Terrible photos.
That looks like it belongs on your Grindr profile.
You did a good job taking them, but I look fucking terrible.
No, you look great.
No, you're out of your mind. You are just trying to keep this thing primed.
Don't you dare speak ill of the poses you gave us. It was fashion model all the way.
Yeah.
Me and Kev had a meeting last week, and we want to do more photo shoots.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Those photos are up on our Facebook page, I believe.
They are.
I put the collage up on Friday afternoon.
We can even put up on our Instagram, too, if you want.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Got an email from Therese in Pompano. Said, as I was guzzling Jack Daniels and crying in the shower, I decided to call out all the people who called out V about the way she raises her kids. Look, these minions don't come with instructions, and I throw my Endymion beads to her for always keeping it real and making all moms feel like we aren't in this alone.
Oh, that's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I love the reference of crying in the shower to hide the tears.
You can't tell, that's
funny.
What's water, what are tears?
Crying in the shower is rough.
It's the best place to do it, though, because you can soap your face and have a fresh start when you get out.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Got an email from old Sweet Pea.
Oh, Sweet
we
Pea.
love Sweet Pea.
Our old intern.
She's
That's
great.
pretty cool.
How's she doing?
Apparently pretty well. She's talking a little bit about the conversation I had with my mom and her QAnon conspiracies and everything else that she's doing. And my mom had a very active weekend.
Oh, boy.
She did?
Yeah, she did.
With you?
She kicked up the radicalization.
Yeah, it's unbelievable because, after the inauguration on the 20th, there was about 36 hours where it was quiet and I was hopeful. And I'm like, okay, great. Finally, all this stuff is over with because, leading up to it, it was just craziness.
Scary.
It was so preposterous. Some of the stuff that she was getting into. And then, just over the weekend, she sent me a 3-hour-long video. I'm like, Mom, when would I ever watch a 3-hour-long
3
video?
hours.
For some of it, I was watching a part of it. Yeah, the latest was they went into the White House and they've arrested everybody. This guy is showing the video of all, you can see the police sirens and all that. Really what it is anytime the president leaves, they have a police escort. And it looked like just the typical, how when Trump would come to town and you'd have highway patrol all up and down Southern.
So many police detail. They hire them for that.
Right. It pretty much looked like that. But that was the video saying, look, see, they've gone in and they've arrested all the Democrats.
They've arrested all the Democrats?
Yeah.
Just for being Democrat?
Yeah. They're going to freeze all the assets of anybody involved. It's just, it's
So what happens
ongoing.
when because it seems like she's had a lot of these examples that have not come true. After the 10th one, and you would say that, go, Mom, you're 0 for 10. None of this has come true. What's her response?
That's what I had said because, we got into the whole prophets thing that she always talks about. And I was like, they keep throwing down these specific dates. And all she responded with was, yeah, they seem to be shying away from using the dates as much. But I was like, well, if somebody calls out this is going to happen on this date and they say that it came from God and they were told this, and it doesn't, then clearly it didn't come from God unless God's whole plan was to make them look like a fool. And either way, you would stop listening to that person.
Yeah, why would God be punking everybody if it's his followers?
It was weird. And, because I'm dealing with this and I realize this is now a part of my life and my relationship with my mother.
It's exhausting.
It is exhausting. And I hate it. But, I'm trying to, I don't know what else to do because there's nothing else that I can't get around from this. I'm trying to still right now not snap and be mean.
I wouldn't do that only because time's so short.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Your mom, who knows how long she's got.
But with me continuing to edge through it nicely, it's not slowing anything down, and it's an avalanche of stuff. And I was reading articles on so many people, thanks to all the emails that people had sent, where they're dealing with their own family members. And there was an article about the QAnon conspiracy people, how it's so odd that when they've made these bold proclamations on dates that don't come true, how they, oddly enough, double down on them. And you would think it would dissuade you from, okay, game's over. But no, it's like it, for some reason, it's sinking the teeth into these people deeper when it doesn't come true. And it the exact opposite of what makes sense. And you're right, it is exhausting. I apologize. And I'm worn out by it.
I feel bad for you.
I'm worn out by it emotionally. And yeah, she said, I really felt for Kevin on the podcast, Sweet Pea did. She said, the last 4 years have greatly affected my relationship with my parents, and I think she comes from a very strict religious upbringing as well. She said they're not into QAnon, but my mom reposts uninformed memes on Facebook, and my dad religiously watches Fox News so they can toe the line of conspiracy theorists. We've had really tough moments, but I hope and pray that we can get back to normal with this new era. Kevin, I'm praying that your relationship with your mom is on the path to healing. Relatedly, I'd love to know your thoughts on politically motivated false prophets in the church. There have been several pastors that claim God showed them prophecies about Trump being reelected. Some have since apologized for being wrong, and some stand firm. I'm curious what you think specifically about modern-day prophets in the Christian church in relation to politics. If you think they're credible at all to speak to God, and if you should even mix politics with religion. I'm sure we could all talk a day about this. Yeah, we could, and I'll try to keep it short. But I grew up in that whole faith healers, prophets, all that kind of stuff, and there was a lot of stuff that looked goofy and silly, and so much stuff that never has come true. I mean, my entire life, the world was already ending, and my mom just kept sending me so many texts saying, we're in the days of Noah again, and I think my mom thinks a global flood's coming. I don't even know.
Did you fire back with Noah not? Noah not?
Noah not.
Noah not?
That's pretty funny.
So I'm used to it. This isn't, a completely new era. But yeah, I don't like that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of religious quackery. I don't like it because, I still believe in the faith. I'm still Christian, and I believe that they make it look bad, my religion. And I think there's much more to it. To me, it's about Jesus and about love, and that's what my religion is all about. It's not about God trying to tell me this and condemning other people, and I don't like that path at all. I think that they really take the wrong side of the approach. I think the approach is about acceptance and love and trying to make good decisions in your life, but understanding that we're all going to fail and mess up, and it's about trying to come back and get back on that right path even when you're taking a misstep. So, yeah, it's tough. And I'm just, with each text, you're just like, all right, try to take a deep breath. But at the same time, I got a lot of shit to do. Like, I don't have time for this.
You don't have time to watch a 3-hour video?
Well, to even try to get a response back that is something where it's like, I don't know, Mom, I don't believe any of it. And I've kind of said that, basically.
Right.
And all that. I mean, look at your sources. Your sources are not good.
Growing up, was your mom someone that would have a tough time admitting she was wrong? Even if she was wrong and you kind of knew it, and she still would dig her heels in. I know my mom was like that.
I think to some extent, she just, who she puts credibility into, that she thinks they're godly, and what, there's a lot of people that I would question that this is a man of God and that they're sent from God. And it's these people who claim that they are, that I look at when they come with, I've got a message directly from God. I'm like, okay, here comes a quack. It typically doesn't pan out well.
I thought I got a message from God over the weekend, said, I think you guys do too many dirts. And I don't know if it was the peanut butter whiskey.
God told me you need to cut down on your drinking.
Yeah.
Before you're about to meet him.
He said the same thing about you.
Yeah.
So we're all going down. We're all going to hell in a handbasket, Virginia.
Yeah. Well, and it's these nut jobs, and they've got, that crazy ass hair, and they talk like, the Lord is coming down.
Or they're real Southern.
Poof.
Real Southern.
They got a look to them.
Talk like this.
They got a hair, a look. They got all that going on.
Who's that one guy? He's 100.
COVID-19.
He's 180 years old.
You described all of them.
He's got a TV show, and
You described all of them.
he's always saying out of line shit, like outdated, sexist shit.
You described many of them. Honestly, there's too many to count that you've given the perfect description.
But he talks like he's 150. He's like, he's really old.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
Chat room will know.
Yeah. So I don't buy into all that stuff, and I do. Just a sweet peace point. I don't like it because it chases a lot of people away from the faith, and that's not what the faith is about. It's really not. So,
would you rather be in the government like a mayor, or would you rather be the head of a church? What would be more fun for you?
I don't know. I would like to do something positive for people's lives. I think that's great. And however I can impact that for the better, that'd be wherever I want to go.
I could see you doing some church shit. I shouldn't probably say church and shit.
Church shit.
Yeah, church stuff.
I probably wouldn't put it on our shirts.
I'm here for the church shit.
Amen, bitches.
I could see you running a taco restaurant too. I think you'd be good at that.
Ralston?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know he's not going to eat the profits.
Yeah, I do.
He'd run it perfectly. It'd be so on point behind the scenes. The numbers, the prep,
Organized,
the figures.
yeah.
Yeah,
He would be on point with that.
I do. If we could do keto-friendly tacos, I'd be all about it. But I did jump off the keto for bodega this weekend. It was good.
I can also see you running a car wash place, a really successful one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
You got the gift.
Okay. Who knows what I'll wind up doing one day?
Well, you better
when I grow up.
Don't do anything too soon, because I just bought a house. I'd like to.
Right. You got to keep this thing going for a while.
Got some bills to pay.
Yeah. Nothing's going to change anytime soon. Jason from Pickle Squad said Jenny versus Rose. Here's the battle. Titanic and Forrest Gump are arguably two of the best movies ever made. However, who do you despise more? Jenny is a woman that leads Forrest on the entire movie, and it's not until she's addicted to drugs and sick that she finally realizes that Forrest has always been there and knows what love is. In Titanic, what starts as a ploy to annoy her snooty fiancé or whatever he is to Rose actually turns into a spark at the end of the movie. She basically says, nah, this gigantic float is big enough for me and you, but I'd rather say I'll never let go, as she literally pries his hand from hers and lets him die and float down to the abyss. So my question is, who is worse? Is Jenny or Rose?
Keep in mind, too, they forgot to mention, and I don't know if it was ever covered, but did Jenny give forced AIDS or HIV?
Don't think he did. And I've watched that a couple times because it is confusing, because you're right. He fills Jenny with his gumpy seed.
Gives her that gump hump.
Gives a gump hump. Sends her on her way.
Delicious.
Gumpy seed.
She goes off and renders a child. And then when she comes back, she's got the HIV that turns to the AIDS, and I think that's what takes her out. Now, I had heard it explained to me, because I had this question, that it was in the time after Hump laid with her that she went and got her deadly disease.
Gotcha. So
Okay.
she just got a baby from that hump gump.
Yes. The gump hump is what gave her child. What gave her the HIV was another time with another man in another place.
We had to figure that
Later
out.
on.
I have my answer. It's very easy, actually. The worst of the two, without a doubt, is Rose. Without a doubt. She fucking plays mind games with you. She's got all that money. She comes from a good family. She should know better. She lets you die. Mm-hmm. It's without a doubt. It's Rose.
Well, I would argue if you're talking about playing games, Jenny plays a lot more games. She mind fucks Gump the entire.
I like him better as Hump.
But can I?
She messes with his mind the entire movie. It's one thing after another. Starting when they're kids, she leads him on. She then sleeps with him, then gets up in the middle of the night and leaves. I mean, if that's not messing with somebody's emotion, Jenny's a lot worse at that than Rose was.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to disagree with you, and I'll tell you why. They grew up as childhood friends. They were friends with each other, and she did not lead him away when they were friends. They were tight, thick as thieves as friends. Gump developed feelings for Jenny, but she still remained friends with them. They were... She also was sexually abused. She had a terrible, terrible childhood. She didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Dad abused her. She had a terrible childhood. She was a lost, broken soul. Rose had everything handed to her, and she fucking plays mind games, and Jack is dead. No, Rose, no.
What were the mind games that Rose played? I haven't seen that movie since it came out.
She leads on. Leo did we're going to love each other. This is after what, a night? She met Leo one night? Is that what happened?
Well, I mean, they had their night, but I think it was the course of time. It was,
a few
through
days.
the cruise.
Okay,
yeah.
so she's engaged with somebody, and 2 days with some guy she met, she's going to throw out the entire wedding. She's going to lead him on thinking they've got this love affair. And then at the very end, when he thinks, oh, we're in love, she lets him fucking die in the freezing ocean. Shit that, man.
Yeah, I don't think that Jenny would have let Gump die. There's no way. I don't think she would have. And I think Gump easily would have. He would have been chivalrous, and he would have given his life in a heartbeat for Jenny.
Jenny is broken. She's a lost soul, man. She doesn't know what's up or down. Rose knows everything.
She's elitist.
She's elitist?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, screw that. Can I get an amen in here?
You've talked me into it.
I know.
Rose.
I'm very passionate about this.
We hate that hooker.
So are you going Jenny at first? All right, I rest.
Your passion has won me over, Bird.
All right, good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so thank you very much. Got an email here from Jessica who says, I'm not high, but hear me out. What if Bigfoot is an alien? And the reason he's so elusive is he can turn invisible with technology that we haven't discovered yet.
Damn.
You're not the first person to have this theory, and I respect what you wrote in the email. I'm glad that you're bringing this up.
You ever given it this thought?
I've given it the thought. I don't think that's what it is, but it's definitely a theory that's been floated out there.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think it's likely, but I haven't given it a lot of thought.
I'm convinced that aliens and UFOs, they live in our ocean. I'm convinced of it. That's why we have so many sightings here on Earth, because they're going to they're like, oh, they can't travel that far. Well, motherfuckers, that's because they're already here.
Is there like a pod under the ocean that they built, or do they live in like the center of the earth?
I think they live in the ocean. I think there's parts of the ocean that we as humans have a tough time getting to. And I think with technology, I think aliens have way better technology than us. They probably can shut down anything once they get in the water. You probably can't detect them.
So did they build like a whole like a community under the water somewhere?
I just think you see all this shit flying around. Are you fucking with me right now?
No, I'm asking you some real shit questions.
He can't believe that you're actually giving him this many questions, letting him run loose with this topic.
I'm actually interested in your take. You did such a great job dissing Rose.
Yeah.
Someone said, Bird really does not like Rose.
You are the peanut butter falcon. You are on fire.
He is.
I just think that it's hard for us to find ships in the ocean.
That's true. There's many parts of the ocean that are so deep.
Yes, I totally feel like you're fucking with me.
And pressurized.
Yeah. Do they have like a whole pressurized community like under a bubble?
I just think they explore Earth. And if they were out on the ground here, we'd see them all the time. So they got to go somewhere to hide. And the ocean would be a great place to hide. There's just so many sightings from the Navy and from the Army and from all forms of military.
The Air Force and the Marines?
All of them, Virginia.
What about the Coast Guard?
The Coast Guard too, Kevin.
What about the reserves?
All right. It's
what
getting
about
old.
Cub Scouts?
You are fucking with me.
Now we're fucking with you. We let you go too long.
How about the Brownies?
The brownies.
My sister was a brownie.
Oh, the daisies.
The daisies. It goes Daisy, Brownie, then Girl Scout, right?
Yeah.
Are they all in cahoots together? Or does the Girl Scouts hate?
No, they're all in cahoots together.
Cahoots.
They don't hate.
You're right. That's a bad word.
Okay.
I just looked up after my UFO explanation. We got our first dislike.
Oh.
Keep them coming.
It won't be the last.
Oh, no shit.
Okay, quick shout out here to Justin, computer guy. Got to throw up some prayers for him. He was diagnosed with COVID about a month ago, still very ill. He's home and quarantining in his room. We visit the ER a few times a week as the medicine's just not doing 100% to get rid of it. Thanks in advance for his prayers. And also Justin had said, I just wanted to get a little shout out. I'm COVID positive almost a month and a half now. Been hospitalized 4 times, just asking for thoughts and prayers from my fellow KVJ Nation fam. He said, side note, this is no joke, especially with autoimmune deficiencies, and I have 2. So,
Well, we're praying for you, Justin, for sure. Stay strong.
Yep, absolutely. One big happy family. We're here for you, buddy. All right, well, thank you very much for checking in. You can always send in those emails to us, mail@kvjshow.com, mail @kvjshow.com. Have an amazing day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.